Hello guys, welcome to the channel. This is Divine Truth Tarot and I am Sarah, your guide. My setup is going to be expanding. I am looking into purchasing an overhead tripod for my iPhone. If anyone knows of one that doesn't cost a bazillion dollars, let me know. I know there's a way to do a makeshift one out of PVC pipes, but I'm just kind of lazy and not that handy. So if you know, let me know, and then I'll have an overhead view, which I think will be really beautiful. I have new things coming for the setup. I'm very excited for when those arrive. They're card holders and a beautiful new tarot spread, a sheet. And I got to meet one of our soul sisters today, Sally, and she made these beautiful homemade rocks for me. She is a painter. And she bought me this beautiful plaque. Fall is my favorite, and 31 because of my birthday, October 31st. And then there's some pumpkins that I'll share next time. But thank you so much, Sally. It was really, really beautiful to connect with another Divine Feminine in person. And we went to this little acai bowl place and we connected with a younger Divine Feminine, younger by about 20 years. And that was really beautiful to connect with her energy. So it was a really blessed day and so wonderful to meet you, Sally, and just really amazing to connect with somebody on that level, somebody who is going through so much of what you're going through. So I encourage you guys to try to meet up, if it's possible, with other Divine Feminines in your area. It really is quite beautiful and just really validating as well. So we're going to do a reading today, and I am going to be using the Osho Zen Tarot deck as well as the Magical Dimensions deck. And for those of you who are wondering about booking a reading with me, I'm booked through mid-October. I have some slots left, but I will be taking off the last week of October. I'll be doing some traveling again. And so if you're wanting a reading, do let me know, because once I'm booked up through October, I won't be taking readings anymore until November. And I think that's it. So if you are looking for my email, it's in the description box below each video. Let's get started on the cards. And thank you to everyone who shows up for the videos, for the channel, for each other. Thank you for your support. Thank you for choosing me to do your reading. I'm very honored. I'm deeply grateful and very honored. Okay, let's go ahead. Giving these cards a nice shuffle. I've really been tuning in with this Osho Zen Tarot deck. It's a very unique deck. It's got a lot of power. Some decks, this is more magical. This is a powerful deck. And as I learn the meanings more and more, I'm just sort of awe-inspired. Give me just one moment here, guys. All right, let us get going. Okay, Spirit. Setting the intention for Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael to cleanse this space, to keep this space, the cards, this reading, anyone watching the reading, their energy, my energy, cleansed and pure, inviting in a layer of protection around this reading so that we receive the clearest, most divine messages that we need to at this time. So these are just going to be firstly messages for the collective here. Wow, guys, two major arcana cards. Can you see the blue and the purple? So what we have going on right now is a lot of activation with the third eye chakra and the crown chakra. And I'm also hearing the star chakra. So going up to the star chakra, connecting you to, if you're a star seed, you're very much going to connect with the star chakra and leading us into other dimensions when we connect with the star chakra, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th dimensions. So even above the 4th dimension, the 5th dimension. Now we have, this is so fascinating to me. When you have two major arcana cards that are popping out right at the beginning of the reading, these are really highlighting the energies. And what they're highlighting here is, again, the third eye chakra. So for some of you, this means your third eye has been blasted open. And for others of you, this is going to mean that your third eye may be blocked. So I'm seeing two different parties here. There's definitely a breakaway from the old. There's a breakaway from programming. I see more so most of you, okay, this is what Spirit is saying. Some of you are asleep and some of you are sort of freshly cracked open. So some of you may be going through a dark night of the soul, like myself again, or just an ego death, neither of which are comfortable, neither of which are enjoyable. I mean, let's be real. And what's very interesting to me is in this particular deck, because it's such a unique deck, we have corresponding cards in the Rider-Waite, the original tarot deck. This is actually the Chariot card. Okay, so let's look at this one. This is for those of you who are awake, who have recently been cracked open, who are really seeing clearly now. And I wouldn't normally think of the Chariot card as awareness. It's more, for me, it's a fast, furious, fast-moving card, and it's asking the individual, which path are you going to take? There's generally, you'll see it as two horses, a black horse and a white horse, just to show the two different options of what's available. So, two very different paths to take. It's like there's no gray area. It's, they say, oh, it's black or white. Where's the gray area? Well, there kind of isn't with the Chariot. So there's something that's come to your awareness that really demands to be looked at right now. I see this as sort of, again, the former self, the old self, and the new self, the inner Buddha, the Buddha nature coming through. Very profound card to receive right at the beginning. So highlighting the reading with some very profound energies. Now we have silence. Silence is the star card. So the star card is deeply connecting you to, you know what? I didn't even realize that was a star card initially when I said star chakra. That's funny. So definitely the star chakra, for some of you, you'll be feeling that activation. And I'm being told for some of you to look further into the star chakra to see what that's about and to see how you can cleanse and heal and rebalance that chakra. Because it'll be new to some of you and it'll feel it may feel a little unearthing. It may feel a little imbalancing to you, kind of throwing you off balance. So keep that in mind and ground as much as possible. Now, some of you are going to feel like you're asleep right now or going to feel like you're just plain exhausted on the 3D level, just sleeping more than normal. Guys, I've been sleeping 12 hours a day. I take a really high quality CBD oil at night, but I have been not wanting to get up in the mornings more than normal because I'm definitely a night owl. So I wonder if some of you are feeling that, where you just feel like you could sleep all day. And it's hard to explain to people who don't understand it. It's a profound need, a very deep need of your body and your mind, emotional body, mental body, physical body, spiritual body, just to sleep, to really integrate these energies that are coming through. So some really, really powerful energies to start the reading. Wow. They're asking me to go ahead for a moment. We're going to go over to the Magical Activations deck, Magical Dimensions deck. Well, let's call it Activations. I like that too. And we're going to look into some corresponding energies for the Star card and the Chariot card. I also see with the Star card that, this can be wishing on a star and hoping to get, I'm actually going to look in the book for this one because these are different interpretations of the major arcana cards. Okay, so let's see here. Yes. It's talking about the energy of the whole. So definitely that star chakra presence. The silent mirror-like receptiveness of a star-filled night with a full moon is reflected in the misty lake below. The face in the sky is deep in meditation, a goddess of the night who brings depth, peace, and understanding. Now is a very precious time. It will be easy for you to rest inside, to plume the depths of your own inner silence to the point where it meets the silence of the universe. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go, and the quality of your inner silence permeates everything you do. It might make some people uncomfortable, accustomed as they are to all the noise and negativity of the world. Never mind, seek out those who can resonate with your silence or enjoy your aloneness. Now is a time to come home to yourself. The understanding and insights that come to you in these moments will be manifested later on in a more outgoing phase of your life. So kind of like a hermit energy, which I've never really associated with the star card. So very, again, unique interpretation in this particular deck. Interesting. Yeah, and when it comes to the Chariot, I'm just getting another intuitive hit here, that this is about lifting up the veil of illusion on what's going on in the world. I mean, they're saying December 21st is going to be a very significant date for the collective and just for the world, where all of our third eyes will suddenly open. It's not that far away. I mean, we're in mid-September. So that's 3 months away. So 3 months of preparation. And guys, when this happens, anything that is not, whether it's December 21st or another date, when this does happen, anything that's not honest or authentic or true or of the light is going to be able to be seen for what it is. There's not going to be any questions. It's going to be very clear what is actually going on. If a person's lying, if they're not being honest, all of these things, a company and their morals, their ethics, all of these things are going to be able to be looked at and reviewed, and it's going to be just very much in your face. Very, very clear. I'm just hearing crystal clear. There's a clarity that's coming through. It's like wiping away the cobwebs of everyone who's been asleep and waking up to the truth of what really is. By the way, guys, before I present you with this next card, I have been really being guided to do some astrology readings. So that would be quite, would take up time. That's my only concern, is I am in 2 programs right now, and so the programs that I'm studying online, so I don't have a lot of free time to really dedicate, but I'm wondering if, and I wouldn't do them weekly, I would be doing them monthly. So let me know if that's something you'd like. So that would be 12 separate videos. Let me know if that's, popular requests. I'm really being called to it, and I haven't decided if I should do that on a separate video, or a separate new channel or this channel, but I'm definitely being called to start presenting those, especially in the lead up here to December. So let me know. Releasing, purification, spiritual cleansing, letting go. Very much, these cards are all very much in alignment. There's a releasing of the past. There's a releasing of who we were so that we can step into who we're becoming. And this woman has angel wings. There's also a hummingbird here. Hummingbirds are very special and unique creatures. They're very fast moving. So I see for some of you, this release is going to happen very quickly, which is actually good because it won't be as soul shattering as, if it's a dark night of the soul that you're moving through or an ego death, it's going to happen rather quickly. It may come in rather abruptly, but then it's going to leave just as quickly. Hummingbirds also, they're medicine, they're winged messengers. So bringing in the message of, I feel like they're saying this is urgent. Whatever needs to be released, this is urgent at this time that you've released outdated programming. Look into hypnotherapy. It's one of the modalities I'm studying right now. I have a very, very in-depth program that I'm involved in. It's the only state licensed school in my state, and it's going to be extremely powerful when I'm able to provide those services, which I will be in the spring. And I say this because I'm in my 300 hours now of training. It's so profound, the work of the subconscious. So we help to transform the subconscious mind and the beliefs, the limiting beliefs that we're carrying. It's more powerful in many ways than talk therapy. And I'm not at all putting talk therapy down. I've been in therapy myself. I highly recommend. I mean, some people will do both talk therapy and hypnotherapy together. But for some people, hypnotherapy works much faster and can lead to more significant changes or progress. If I do have any therapists watching, please understand that I'm not at all trying to negatively speak about your profession. I have friends who are therapists. I highly regard what you do. I think that we could work together very beautifully in helping people transform their lives. And therapy has helped me tremendously in the past. So releasing, purification, spiritual cleansing, and just really, yeah, there's a sense of forgiveness. You know, when we release, when we let go, when we cleanse, we have to forgive ourselves. There's a card that wants to come up here for the masculines in particular. Liberation. So I feel like this is the card for the feminines and this is the card for the masculines. Power, fulfillment, self-attainment, brilliant. This has come up in readings. I'm not sure if it was for the masculines. I think it was, but this has come up in recent readings. No matter how many times I shuffle, guys, I'm finding that the same cards want to be seen and read and heard over and over and over again. There's, and look at this on the bottom, third eye portal, right? There's just messages that really desperately are trying to come through right now, and they're trying to connect with the receiver. Vision, clairvoyance, and clarity, confusion, right? So when your third eye is blocked, you'll feel confused. You won't trust your intuition. You won't trust what you're feeling. You'll go by what you're seeing rather than what you're feeling. So for a lot of us, that's kind of how that's kind of how the other side will try to wage their war, is to block our third eye. That's why a lot of the masculines appeared to be asleep, because their third eye was blocked, but they're waking up to that. They're shaking off the cobwebs. They're rubbing the sleep out of their eye. And they're now very awake and alert to this connection, to the power of their soul, of their mind, the power of that they have to really transform their lives and to make a giant, giant shift. And for many of them, it will be a significant shift in a different direction. It's going to be different. It's going to look different for all of us. But they're receiving, you know, they're starting to realize, hey, I'm clairvoyant, I'm clairaudient, I'm clairsentient. Whether or not they know what to call those things, they're very much aware that they possess these gifts. And guys, I strongly feel many of them are looking into twin flames. Many of them are receiving readings, and many of them are, you know, really fully just liberating themselves from connections that they were in, marriages, long-term marriages with children, with property, with businesses together. It doesn't matter. They're freeing themselves from everything that has held them back. And they're realizing, and so let me just state this because Spirit wants me to let you know, this doesn't mean that they'll reach out immediately. Some of them, many of them will have healing. All of them actually will have healing they need to do. Some of them will want to do that with you. Others will prefer to do it in private and to come to you when they're not empty-handed. So just because you hear maybe through the grapevine or social media or whatever, a mutual friend that they've left the spouse and they're getting a divorce or whatever it might be, please understand that doesn't mean they're going to contact you the next day. They need to sort out their feelings and their emotions, and they really do want to come to you on stronger, stable ground and foundation before they're going to feel worthy of being a part of your life in a significant way. And, you know, I've had people ask, well, why won't they just come forward? That's the reason why. They don't just want to come forward, especially if you've really laid out that healthy boundary that says, I will not receive crumbs. I will not be the other person. I will not eat. The other person could be to a job or to a family members or a religion or a culture or an addiction. It doesn't have to be a partner, but you're saying, I will not, you know, be second best to anybody. So they know that you mean business and that you meant what you said, and they're not going to come to you just with empty hands again because they won't have anything to offer. Or that's how they're feeling. So self-attainment is a beautiful, beautiful aspiration and beautiful energy for the masculines. Okay, so let's find out. Oh, okay. I'm going to actually, a few cards popped out, but I wasn't really clear on my intentions, so I'm going to place them back in the deck. Okay, so let's ask Spirit. Okay. What can the divine feminine do to claim her power, to stand in her power? Ace of Cups, guys. Go with the flow. Ah, okay. Well, let's go with the first card, Ace of Cups. Going with the flow. So the feminine can chill. The feminine can relax a little bit. The feminine can trust that everything's being taken care of behind the scene. Behind the scene. There's only one scene. behind the scenes, and that it's okay to release your masculine to the divine. It's okay to release your connection to the divine. It's okay to release your worries, any worries or anxiety you have or stress, to the divine. This is really, I see this is, of course, water, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, but Cancers don't really go with the flow. Cancers can be worrywart, and Scorpio is more of a fire sign, and Scorpio is very passionate, intense. It's very much a fire sign. And so Pisces is the one I think of when I see go with the flow. There's a card in another deck that comes up for private readings, and I always see it as, when I stop struggling, I float. It's the law. I don't know which author wrote that quote, but I've seen it before, and I think it's very profound yet simple. So when I stop struggling, I float. It's the law. So feminines, release your worries to the divine and trust that all will be well. Bring in more meditation is also what I'm hearing. The higher realms want all divine feminines, myself included. I have not been meditating really, not regularly. They want us to start meditating regularly. We're very powerful when we meditate together. And we have the Five of Cups. Interesting. So Five of Cups and the Ace of Cups. Feminines are definitely in their feels. And, look, this woman has a box over her head, and it's like she's trying to get it off, and she's struggling to release. This is like the stories. I mean, look at this. This is chaotic. It's the stories of the past. It doesn't even make any sense. It's like a labyrinth that you could never get out of once you got in. So very much, this is noise and people, and you see like lips and people talking, and looks like snakes, and I don't even know, hearts and fly. It's like, what the hell is going on? I see a fortune cookie. Like, what is going on? There's a very chaotic energy to the Five of Cups. It's definitely the energy of the past. It's not being in the present moment. We're looking towards a brighter, healthier, more promising future. So, wow, divine feminines, that's some heavy energy. No wonder I've been feeling like shit the past few days. Sometimes I think I'm picking up on the divine masculine energy, and I think I'm starting to realize I could easily be picking up on the divine feminine energy collective. Okay, so let's find out where the masculines are at. Intensity. Interesting. So we have, let me sit with this for a moment. We have the Knight of Wands, and this is so interesting. It's like this individual is piercing through, like a saran wrap or plastic or something, and just trying to get through. There's just this sense of, okay, the Spirit says the masculines are trying to get through to the feminines. Many of them are not yet ready or able to reach out in the 3D. They could be, there could be people supervising their conversations or all of their actions. It really could be that intense if they're in certain situations with certain partners. And so the masculines are trying to reach out desperately in the 5D. They're praying, they're connecting to, I see a masculine walking in circles, holding his head like knuckles to the forehead. What do I do? How do I get to her, him? And just walking around outside just in circles and not knowing what to do and how to get back to you, and feeling the distance between the two of you, and feeling like they're responsible for it, but not knowing what to do to change it. So it's very much this sort of out of control energy that's perplexing the masculines. But the good news is this is a Wands energy. So, that's going to light a fire under the masculines to get them to move, to really get them. It's going to shake things up for them, because they've been stagnant for quite some time, the majority of them. So it's going to actually get them to move. Right. Yeah. They want this new beginning. The Fool's been coming out over and over and over again. They want this new beginning with the feminine. They may not be saying it. You may not be experiencing this in the 3D. We all know by now the 3D is no indication of what's really going on in the world at large or in your connection. So trust what you're feeling, not what you're seeing. And yeah, I mean, this is the first step on the journey for the Fool. The Fool starts to make his journey and he ends up at the World card, a completion of a cycle. So they want to start a new cycle in this relationship, a new chapter with you. And I mean, they want to come in hard and fast. No pun intended. Or pun intended, masculines. Because there is a lot of sexual energy, sexual healing. Marvin Gaye. There's a lot of that. Oh, what do we have here? What do we have here? We have the Devil. Conditioning. Interesting how they took the Devil and made it the conditioning card. Now, this is a lion who's shackled up amongst sheep. I mean, to talk about what's going on in the world right now. This is the masculine showing up, realizing they've been shackled, realizing the joke's on them in a sense, that they thought they were doing the right thing by following society, what society dictated, or their culture, or their parents, their families, and they're realizing that they've sold themselves short. They've basically sold themselves out. They didn't sell you out, they sold themselves out by staying committed to something or someone that was not fulfilling their destiny. And you know, they feel like it's funny because I mean, this lion just stands out so much from the crowd. They're really starting to stand out like a sore thumb in their social circles and at home with their families and their friends. And people are like, what the heck? Like, what's up with you? Why are you different? Because they've changed. So there's an energy here of change. There's an energy here of extreme transformation in breaking away from the norm, breaking away from society. They're going to break away, and I'm just seeing a loner type energy where they just are going to want to spend some time alone. What else do we have coming up for the masculines? The World card. So we have, we have the Fool and the World card coming up in their energy. Intensity, the Fool, conditioning. I mean, when we have the Fool card come up with the World card, that's an indication to me of them wanting to spend their lives with you. And you guys know I don't say these things lightly. I don't talk about weddings and engagement and happily ever after all the time. This journey is a journey, and it's just not my style. There's so much more to this journey than engagement or marriage. It's so much deeper than that. We are healing the world with our love and with our light. So we have the completion. Not only do they want to start a new chapter with you, they want to end everything with you. They want to end a cycle, to come to you, and then they want to spend their life with you. They want to create with you. They want to do everything with you. They want to do everything with their feminine. Let's get energies of the connection. Okay then. This card keeps on coming up over and over and over. It just flew out. Heart chakra. Right. So the feminines are definitely in their emotions. The masculines are the masculines are definitely fixing things, creating things behind the scenes in the 3D. They are emptying their baggage, if you will. Like, I'm just seeing suitcases being emptied out. So they're emptying their baggage. And we have here receptivity, generosity. Okay, so any mistrust that needs to be healed at this time, the divine is saying in the next 4 months is what I'm hearing, between now and January. So heal those issues of, anytime we don't trust, it's because we don't, at the core, we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust ourselves to choose correctly. We don't trust ourselves to really love ourselves. So keep that in mind. There's some heart healing going on for these connections. Anything else for the connections? Illumination. So the truth is being illuminated. Expression, positivity, and joy, inspiration. Yeah, expression. So the truth is going to be illuminated once the heart is open, okay, to miracles and to the divine and to your counterpart again, into this connection. Because the truth is, a lot of feminines have closed their heart off to their masculines because it was simply too painful and or forgiveness wasn't possible at the time. So the divine really is trying to open us up to forgiveness. And we see positivity and joy. So I see. The feminine is lighting the way home for the masculine. So as you open your heart, you see the candles being lit, you light the way home for your masculine. And I see the feminines working together as angels. I actually see them as butterflies in this particular card. So butterflies may be significant to some of you at this point in time. It's funny, we see mushrooms. So I'm thinking of shrooms and going on an inner journey, a psychedelic journey. So that's interesting to see them here because they're a statement in this card. So there's a journey to be taken. And, you know, some of you may be doing shrooms or ayahuasca, you know, to open up your third eye, which will help you to open up your heart. You know, the third eye and the heart are intricately connected. So interesting energies there. Okay, let me just see. We're going to end there, actually. Spirit says that's it. That is it for this reading, guys. I will see you again with another reading tomorrow. Have a beautiful day, and we'll talk really soon.